What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are you people doing here? Back again with some more football content for you people here. So earlier today, the Euro 2024 draw has officially taken place. So now I decided to basically do a quick group prediction on which nations I think will advance at the Euro 2024 tournament. Now, of course, this is an early prediction since the draw just took place and the playoff games are still going to be taking under place. So I will do a updated prediction video by then. Okay, so starting off with Group A, we have Germany, the host of Euro 2024. We got Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. So starting off with Germany here, obviously they are going to be, I think, going into this tournament with all the motivation in the world, not only because Germany is the host country, but of course, you know, looking back at their last two World Cup performances have not been the best. So Germany, they are definitely going to be wanting to redeem themselves. And as for Scotland here, they are once again, they have qualified this time for back-to-back tournaments. So, you know, for Scotland, this is a big achievement for their footballing nation. So, and then you got Hungary, obviously, once again, Hungary and Germany facing each other just like Euro 2020. So Hungary, they are going to be facing a similar opponent here in this group. And as for Hungary, with the form of Szoboszlai, he could arguably carry Hungary in this group stage, because for Hungary, best player in my opinion without a doubt is Szoboszlai. And as for Switzerland, obviously another footballing nation that is very, very experienced here. They have all the experience in the world. And with Switzerland, obviously, I think they will definitely get out of this group here. And but as for number one here, I'm going to have to give number one here to I will give number one here to Switzerland. That's right. I was going to give number one here to Germany, but I think to myself, you know, Switzerland, and if you look at their footballing squad still has got it, especially like with the informed talent of Shaqiri, and then you have Xhaka, you got Seferovic, you got Akanji as well, Sommer, so, and then you have Rodriguez as well. So Switzerland, obviously a lot of very talented players in their squad, and I have a feeling Switzerland could once again pull off something, pull off a big surprise like how they did at the last Euro tournament by, you know, when they upset France on penalties. So yeah, this is why I would have to give number one here to Switzerland, just because, you know, I think for Switzerland, the sky's the limit from here in this group. So number one, I'm going here with Switzerland as the team that I think will finish first place here, especially if you look at the performances of Shaqiri, always turns up at tournaments. So this is why I'm gonna have to give number one here to Switzerland, just because I have a feeling Switzerland could pull off a big surprise here in this tournament, like how they did at Euro 2020. So yeah, number one, Switzerland. But for number two here, I'm going definitely with Germany here. Now, obviously with Germany, they haven't been performing their best football. They've been, you know, losing quite a lot of games recently, you know, especially at the World Cup and especially in the international break. Germany, they haven't really been getting off to their best start ever. And obviously for Germany, I guess the biggest question is, how are Germany going to line up at the Euros? But if they can get things right, I imagine they will get second place here in the group. Third, I'm going to go here with Hungary, and fourth, Scotland. So yeah, those are my final predictions. Next up, Group B, we have Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania. So obviously starting here with Spain here, they could be without their star player Gavi, because Gavi, he suffered a very horrific injury, and I wish him all the best. I hope he recovers, and I would love to see Gavi at the tournament next summer, but obviously that really depends if he's going to be able to come back in time from his injury, because a lot of people are speculating that he could miss out on the Euros tournament because of the horrific injury he suffered in the qualifiers and all that. But despite that, I still think Spain can definitely do something here, because they still have a lot of great depth and a lot of young players that can definitely make an impact on that squad and all that. And for Croatia, obviously, this could be Luka Modric's arguably last and ever tournament appearance. So for Croatia and Luka Modric, this tournament is going to, I think, have a lot of expectations for them, especially, you know, considering that Luka Modric is getting up there in age, and, you know, this could arguably be his last and ever tournament and his last and ever appearance with Croatia if he chooses to retire from the team, you know, at the conclusion of the tournament. But for Croatia, obviously, they have the experience here. Another team that is looking to challenge for number one here in the group. So Croatia, I would say they're really good challengers. Number three, we've got Italy here, the defending Euro champions. Italy looking to defend its Euros crown. And obviously with Italy, it's going to be interesting to see if they can, you know, make it back to the final, especially after they failed to qualify for the World Cup again, like how they did in 2018. So yeah, for Italy, they are going to be heading into this tournament, defending champions. And then number 4, we've got Albania here. And obviously for Albania, I guess you could say for them, this is like the group of death because they are facing 3 really good footballing nations in Spain, Croatia, and Italy. But for Albania here, obviously, I think that if Albania can sort out its back four, and if they can play really good defense like how they did in their qualifiers, then I think Albania just might be able to pull off an upset here. But it's going to be really difficult for Albania here just because, like I said, man, facing Spain, Croatia, and Italy, it's not going to be an easy task for them, especially figuring out how to open up Italy's defense, you know, in the Albania-Italy game. So yeah, for Albania, they are the ultimate underdogs here in this group here. But for number 1 here, I'm going to have to give number 1 here to Italy because I still believe that Italy have what it takes to make it out of this group here. Because for Italia, I personally feel like that that since they're the defending champions, they still I think have what it takes to make a run at defending its crown. So yeah, number 1 here, I would have to give it here to Italy. And as for number 2 here, I'm going to give number 2 here to most likely Spain. And the reason why I'm giving it here to Spain is just because you look at Spain here, they always have turned things up, especially at this past World Cup. Despite them getting upset by Morocco, they really turned things up with that 7-0 victory over Costa Rica. So it just goes to show you that Spain's front attack is still really good and not to be underestimated. So yeah, I could see Spain taking number 2. And as for number 3, I think it's going to be a challenge between Albania and Croatia here. But if I had to pick here on who I think is going to get the third one, me personally, Croatia, obviously Luka Modric. If he gets number 3 here, then Croatia, they could make it to the knockout stage based off the ranking. But if Albania were to make it to the knockouts, just imagine the scenes if Albania make it to the knockouts. That would be absolutely insane because this would be for the first time ever in their footballing nation's history that Albania has made it out of the group stage at a tournament. So if Albania managed to somehow clinch 3rd spot here, then that would be absolutely insane. But I have a feeling that Croatia most likely will get 3rd place here in the group just because they are a very experienced team and they have a lot of tournament experience. So for number 4 here, I'm going with Albania here. Sorry, Albania, but it's just for Albania, this is just going to be a very, very difficult group for them. And as for Group C, we got Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, and England. So for Slovenia here, I think they are the ultimate underdogs here in this group here. And obviously, then we got Denmark here, a footballing nation that is very solid, that could really, you know, put on a great performance and challenge England for that top spot here in this group. Because the toughest opponent I think England has faced at the Euros without a doubt recently would have to be Denmark. And then you have Serbia here making its debut for the first time in 24 years since they became an independent nation from Yugoslavia. And then number 4, we have England here. But for number 1 here, I'm going with England here, especially with the front attack England have. I don't see how any nation here in this group is going to stop England's front attack. So for number 1 here, I'm going with England here. But for number 2 here, I would have to pick Denmark. And as for 3rd place here, I think that's going to be a challenge between Serbia and Slovenia. But for 3rd place here, I'm going to go with Serbia here. So for Group D, obviously, it's still going to be a crossover between Poland, Finland, Wales, and Estonia on who's going to be the winner of Playoff A. And then we have Netherlands, Austria, and France. But regardless of which nation is going to be the playoff winner A here, obviously, I still imagine that France most likely will finish number 1 here in the group. And as for number 2 here, I'm going to go with the Netherlands here just because I really like the Netherlands' chances. And as for 3rd place here, obviously, me rooting for Poland and hoping they will qualify here for Group D. I could see Poland finishing 3rd here, and for 4th, I got Austria. And as for Group E, we have Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, and then the playoff winner B. And obviously, it's going to determine between Bosnia, Ukraine, Israel, and Iceland on who's going to be the playoff winner B here. But obviously, who I think is going to be the playoff winner B is Bosnia. I could realistically see Bosnia taking that final spot here. But obviously, for number 1, I still imagine Belgium will finish 1st here in the group. But as for number 2 here, I could see Romania finishing 2nd in the group. I really like Romania's chances. And as for 3rd, I imagine that Bosnia, they could finish if Bosnia managed to qualify here. And for 4th here, I would give 4th place here to Slovakia. And last but not least, we have Turkey and the playoff winner C. We have Portugal and Czech Republic. Obviously, I imagine that Portugal will definitely win this group here. So for 1st place here, I'm definitely going with Portugal. And depending who's going to be the playoff winner, see, it could be either Georgia, Luxembourg, Greece, or Kazakhstan, but realistically, I think Greece is going to clinch that final spot here in this group, so I think Greece is going to be qualifying here for the Euro. But for second place here, I'm going to give it here to Turkey, and for Greece, I think they could finish third in the group if they qualify, and I have Czech Republic finishing fourth. So ladies and gentlemen, those are my predictions for Euro 2024, my early predictions here as the draw took place here, so let me know if you agree, disagree, let me know why in the comments, and let's have a football discussion.